Hi ladies, Sarah here with Faithful Finish Lines. Is fear holding you back from your weight loss dreams? Today you are going to learn some really important tips for how you can manage some of those fears so that they don't hold you back. I'm going to share some weight loss fears that I've heard people say either in this group or, through my blog and my website, or my own fears that I've had throughout my weight loss journey. If these relate to you, would you type yes in the comments? Because that will help me and other people know if this is resonating with you. So these are some common weight loss fears that I hear people say. I won't be able to lose the weight. I've tried and I just won't be able to lose the weight. If that's a common fear that you feel, type yes in the comments. I'll lose the weight, but then I'll gain it back. I won't be successful. I'm worried about what people will think of me. I'll end up feeling like a failure. I'm going to have ongoing health problems and I'm really worried about it. Do some of those fears resonate with you? We have our 7 weeks to Christian weight loss, healthy eating, and fitness program. That program is available anytime. But we also have our premium support program, and that is only available a few times a year. And as we've been talking about it, I've heard some women say, I've really thought about joining, but I'm so afraid to do it because I'm afraid I might fail, or I'm afraid I might not stick with it. If those are fears that you can relate to, again, type yes in the comments. I think one of the things that I've noticed about fear, not just in the area of weight loss, but throughout our society, is think about some of the ways that we talk about fear. We say you need to overcome your fears. You need to fight fear. You need to stop fear in its tracks. You need to face your fears. Well, I don't know about you, but all that talk makes me really nervous. That makes me more nervous and more anxious and more fearful because I feel like I can't do all that. I'll never measure up to all of that. I almost have this picture of my fear coming at me like this huge Mack truck, and I'm just staring in the headlights like there's just no way. I get paralyzed. So I'd like you to rethink fear a little bit in a couple of different ways. First of all, fear is actually protective. Just fear in and of itself that we have as human beings, there's a real protective factor in that. There's a reason why you don't just walk out into the street in the middle of traffic because you have some fears there. I shouldn't do that. So it offers us some protection. If you've ever parented a child who has no fear, you know how absolutely terrifying that is. You constantly have to be around them, watching them. They would go up to a stranger. They would touch a hot stove. They would run out into the street, like the example I just gave. Not having any fear is not a good thing. It's actually okay that we have some of these fears as a protection. So first of all, just as you're thinking about your fear, I would really like you to think about the good that the fears that you have are doing for you. Now, I know that seems kind of opposite because we don't tend to think about fear in that way, but it is serving a purpose for you. All of your fears are serving some type of purpose, or at least the root of how they got started is serving a purpose for you. So give some thought to that. And then think about, is it possible that your fear started from something and now they're starting to ramp a little bit out of control? So maybe your fear did start for a valid reason. There was a valid reason for that, but then as time has gone on, it's gotten bigger and bigger to where your fear is the driver rather than you being the driver of the choices that you make in your life. So give that some thought. The Bible has a lot to say about fear, tons of Bible verses about fear, and I have a link that I'm going to share below after this video of 10 Bible verses for when you are afraid, and it has a free printable too, so it's really helpful. I want to read just a few of those to you. This one is from Psalm 118, and it says, "The Lord is on my side, I will not fear. What can man do to me?" And then from 2 Timothy 1, verse 7, "For God gave us a spirit not of fear, but of power and love and self-control." This one from Deuteronomy 31, verse 6. Be strong and courageous. Do not fear or be in dread of them, for it is the Lord your God who goes with you. He will not leave you or forsake you. And finally, this one from Proverbs 29:25. The fear of man lays a snare, but whoever trusts the Lord is safe. And that last one I thought was kind of interesting. I'm going to read it again. The fear of man lays a snare, but whoever trusts the Lord is safe. In fact, I spent some time this morning with Google looking at that at different commentaries because I wondered what they meant about the fear of man lays a snare. And different pastors had different interpretations of that, but some things about peer pressure, worrying about what people think, maybe being swayed into believing certain things that the world tells us and isn't really what God says. Some of those fears in us are what can lay a trap for us. But when we trust in God, we are safe. So as I look back through some of these Bible verses, what strikes me again and again is that it's not us doing the work in these verses. It is the Lord who is doing the work so that we don't have to be afraid. So if you listen to this Psalm 118, verse 6, the Lord is on my side. I will not fear. It's the Lord who is with us so that we don't have to be afraid. Or the one from 2 Timothy, for God gave us a spirit, not of fear, but of power and love. So it's God who gives us that spirit not to be afraid. Or the one from Deuteronomy 31, for it is the Lord your God who goes with you. We don't have to be afraid because the Lord our God goes with us. And then this last one that we just talked about, whoever trusts in the Lord is safe. I think back again to that analogy where I was talking about the semi-truck coming at me. When I read these verses, I picture that God is just right there protecting me. And any fears that I have, I can just step aside. I don't have to somehow try to fight them for my own power. I have God who is with me, who is fighting them for me. So I'd love for you to spend some time today, maybe while you're busy doing different Saturday activities. I don't know about you, but my Saturdays are usually chores. We're cleaning the house, shopping for groceries, working on the yard, running the kids to different activities. I'm doing my taekwondo. So as you're busy with some of your Saturday activities, spend some time thinking about this. What are some fears that you might have that are holding you back from your weight loss? And then first of all, think about what is the protective factor in that? Maybe what's the part of that that's not so bad, that's maybe a good thing, but is it possible that some of those fears have ramped up to the point that they've gotten out of control and the fear is driving things rather than allowing you to drive it? And then finally, spend some time praying and give that over to God. And again, I'll post the link for these verses below. Reflect on these verses and what they're telling you, which is that you don't have to be afraid. You don't have to let these fears hold you back in your weight loss journey because God is the one who is there for you. He is doing the work. It's not you. It's not about you or your talent or your ability to somehow fight fear and overcome it. It's all about God and allowing Him to do that work in your life. I mentioned our 7 weeks to Christian weight loss, healthy eating, and fitness course, which is available 365. That we've changed up the way we structure that, so that's available all the time. But just 4 times a year, we offer premium support package. And so in that, the way that we do that is we go through that 7-week program with a group of women. We've limited it this year to 30 women, and you guys, there's only a few spots left. So I know for sure it's less than 10. It might even be less than 5. Yesterday was just rock star day. We had a ton of people who signed up, which was awesome. That's really fun for Becky and me, and we're so excited for you. And I just have to tell you, the women in this group, they're just so awesome. They're so cool. So we've already started the premium support. They get a private Facebook group and VIP support from Becky and me. So we've already started in the Facebook group. We don't officially start the course together until October 1st, which is Monday, coming right up. But we've started introducing ourselves and getting to know each other a little bit. And these women, they're so brave. They're so brave, aren't they? Because how many of us have talked about, oh, I want to do this, but I'm just not sure if I'd really follow through. So these are the women who said, I'm going to go for it. I am going to do it. I don't know if I can do it perfectly, But I am going to step out in faith, and I am going to commit these next 7 weeks to working on my weight loss journey, my health, my fitness, with the help of this community of support, and most of all, with God's guidance. And we would love to have you come and join us. This is such an awesome community of women to be a part of, and we know that you would be a wonderful part of it too. There's just room for a couple more women. We're pretty sure we'll probably sell out today, if not for sure tomorrow. So grab your spot, come join us, and we're going to be getting started on the premium support package on October 1st. And as I mentioned, the 7-week program is available anytime, so I'd highly encourage you to check that out too. I'm Sarah with Faithful Finish Lines, and I hope that you have an absolutely fabulous weekend as you consider how you can manage your fears and accomplish everything you want to accomplish to create the life that you love. Together with Becky, take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.